Hey everyone, today we're diving into something a little different. We're talking about the teacher and student romance in BL dramas, a controversial but intriguing topic. Of course, we have to acknowledge the ethical concerns around this kind of storyline. Power dynamic and boundaries are very real issues. But at the same time, this drama explores emotion, longing, secrecy, and complicated feelings in a very layered way. What makes this theme interesting is the tension, the forbidden aspect, the internal conflict, and the slow emotional build-up. Before we get into the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to support me and this channel, you can join in my membership. It truly means the world to me. I'm sorry, it's my dog. And shout out to my little membership family who just joined. You know who you are. Thanks for joining, guys. Alright, let's get into the video. Let's start with Private Lesson. This one is actually a delightful short BL that really surprised me. It's simple but it works. The storyline is cute and easy to follow, and somehow it managed to feel very charming despite the short runtime. What really makes it shine is the chemistry between the two leads. It feels natural and soft, which makes the whole drama very enjoyable to watch. The story follows Jaehyun, who keeps attending poetry lectures, not because he's passionate about poetry, but because he's attached to Young Il, the lecturer. When Jaehyun fails to submit his assignment, Young Il decides to give him a private lesson. And of course, that's where everything starts to shift. It's one of those sweet stories where the feelings slowly grow in a small and intimate setting. Next, we have Sun and Nuea from Why Destiny. For those who don't know, Why Destiny tells the story of seven best friends: Sun, Man, Tu, Put, Turs, Masuk, and Sad. Each character represents a day of the week and their personality are shaped by their destiny. Every story focuses on one pair at a time. Now for Sun and Nuea's story. Sun is assigned to tutor Nuea, who is known as a wealthy and spoiled guy trying to secure an internship. Even though they're both college students, their dynamic feels very strict tutor and bratty student at the beginning. Sun clearly doesn't like Nuea at first, but as they spend more time together, Sun slowly starts finding Nuea kind of cute. But I'll be honest guys, the plot here isn't very deep. Sometimes it feels like the story is just there to connect a lot of BL moments together. Now we have Teacher and Student. Honestly, I haven't watched this one yet. It's on my list and I probably will check it out later. But for now, I don't have a really strong opinion about it. The film tells a story of a man who lives with his longtime boyfriend and works as a teacher. On the surface, his life seems stable and settled, but things become more complicated because he develops a secret obsession with one of his teenage students, Zoe. So this one clearly leans into a darker and more uncomfortable side of the teacher-student team. It's not presented as something light or cute, it sounds more psychological and morally complex. Next is Suddenly Last Summer. This is a short BL film that tells a story about love, obsession, and the complexities of a student-teacher relationship. This one stands out for its storytelling, strong performance, and beautiful cinematography. It feels more artistic and reflective rather than purely romantic. The story follows a student who is deeply in love with his teacher to the point where it starts to border on obsession. He keeps chasing after him, trying to force a confession of feelings. It's definitely not a like watch, it explores desire, boundaries, and emotional confusion in a serious way. Now we have Pria. I really love this one. The setting is absolutely beautiful. The rural atmosphere, the rice field, and the quiet village life. The cinematography feels very natural but powerful at the same time. And their performance, honestly, they feel raw and different from typical BL. It doesn't feel commercial, it feels real. Set in rural Indonesia, the film follows Aris, a teenage Muslim boy who is facing pressure from tradition and arranged marriage that's already being planned for him. In the middle of that, he finds comfort in his English teacher, and that's where his internal conflict begins. This film feels less like a typical romance and more like social drama. It really dives into cultural expectation, religion, family pressure, and identity. The teacher student element is there, but it's not treated in a sensational way. It's more about longing, repression, and the wake of societal norms. And for me, this is a powerful portrayal of struggle and self discovery. Moving on to You Had Me at Hello. This one follows Tone, who is hired to tutor Poon, a high school student who's struggling to pass his exam. What started as a simple tutoring arrangement slowly turns into something more complicated as the relationship begins to grow beyond just teacher and student. Honestly, I think I've watched it, but I kind of forgot some part of it. That probably means it's time for a rewatch. Schoolboy Crush from Japan. This one presents a captivating story about unexpected connection and personal growth. Even though it's an older film, it still has that emotional pull that makes it memorable. The story centers on a student who transferred to a new school only to realize that he previously had a one-night encounter with someone who turns out to be his new teacher. What really elevates this movie is their chemistry between the leads and their acting. Despite the bold premise, the performance make it more feel grounded and emotionally driven rather than just shocking. It was released back in 2007, but honestly, it's very rewatchable. There is something about the atmosphere and storytelling that makes it stick with you. Now we have Meow Ears Up. I haven't watched this one either, so I can really give a full opinion yet. But from what I've gathered, the teacher student dynamic appears in the second couple of the series. I'm not entirely sure how the storyline develops or how much focus it actually gets, so I can't say much about the execution. If any of you have seen it, let me know how it handled that relationship dynamic in the comment. Now we have History 2 Right or Wrong. I absolutely love this one. Out of all the teacher student storylines out there, this is probably one of the most well done and memorable for me. It's part of the history anthology, which is already known for giving us layered characters and emotional storytelling. This season focuses on the relationship between a quiet, mature professor and his younger, more straightforward student. It's a forbidden dynamic, and the show doesn't completely ignore the ethical tension that comes with the age gap and power imbalance. What I love is how soft and grounded it feels. The development is slow, intimate, and surprisingly domestic at times. It's about connection, loneliness, responsibility, and learning how to love in a healthy way despite the complication. For me, this one managed to be both cute and emotionally impactful. It's definitely one of the stronger entries in the anthology and absolutely worth watching if you're exploring this theme. And the last one in this list is Kiseki Dear to Me. Honestly, this one isn't fully a teacher-student romance. It's a bit different, but it does touch that dynamic in a small way. Fan Zerui pretends to be a teacher at the school where Baizongyi studies, but not for romance reason. He's there to secretly keep an eye on some gangster-related activity. If I'm being real, I was just running out of title and this one somehow made it into my list. But hey, it still connects to the theme in its own way. It really depends on how you see it. And that's it for today's list, guys. Teacher student romance are definitely controversial, but they also bring a different kind of tension and emotional complexity to build storytelling. Some handle it well, some not so much. Now let me know which one is your favorite, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.